Hello and welcome to BierTier, the German engineer. Today, we're back with Oxygen Not Included with the Spaced Out DLC. Last time around, we tamed a hydrogen vent and a cobalt volcano, and this time around, we will keep on going exactly where we left off last time. So let's jump right into it and see what we can do today. And here we are, exactly where we left off last time. Wonderful. Well, the only thing that is really still missing up here is trying to figure out if one steam turbine is enough. I believe it is, based on the position where I built the liquid vent. If I would have built the liquid vent over here, we could have potentially used a second one, but I think right there in the middle, this one liquid vent and this one steam turbine here will be plenty. So if you take a look in our overlay, the steam turbine here is heating up a little bit. Doesn't really matter because it's way off, so we could build the exact same thing around here that we built down here for our volcano tamer. Where you at? There you are, smack dab in the middle. Yeah, that would be an option. We gotta close this door here though. That's relatively important. There we go. We don't want a dupe to come in here while this thing here is running, that is for sure. Alright, so far so good. Well, so what is next on the list? Let's see. So after looking around a tiny little bit, I found this here. Look at that. So, when we take a look what that is, it is a natural gas geyser. Isn't that wonderful? That sounds like something that we need really badly. So we're just gonna dig all the way over here. That should be fine. And once we get over there, we're gonna take this thing and we're gonna hook it up to our infinite storage over here, which is currently empty, which is of course suboptimal to say the least. So this one natural gas geyser right here is not going to cut it. So we're gonna dig over there, right here on the bottom, and once we're over there, we're gonna see what we can do. We just need to be a little bit careful with all this radiation here. Let's take a look at that. It's not that bad actually. I just don't want to dig up any uranium, but that should be fine. We'll get there, not a big deal. Good. The other thing that I want to do over here is I want to build an infinite storage for our petroleum. We currently can only store 10 tons. That is okay, but it's not quite as much as I would like to have. So we built a different style. So this style here is what we built last time for our water, but I want to show you a different way of how to do that. And for that we need to do some things, that is for sure. So here we need more space. I'm going to build it right here on this side of the base. And yeah, that's what we're going to do first. We're just going to get rid of all this stuff here. We don't really need it because all we have to do to accomplish the exact same thing is we just have to dig through here and we can get over here. So we have another connection going on right there, which should be perfect. All right, the first 4 are already deconstructed. Let's deconstruct another 4, so that should be okay. Okay, so now we have a nice amount of space right here. Let's take a look at the temperature overlay. It is a little bit warm. Where is this heat up here coming from exactly? It may be this right here, the hydrogen coming out at 80 degrees. That's probably what's causing it. Even though we have an insulated gas pipe made out of igneous rock, apparently it's still dumping some heat. It's okay for right now. Anyhow, we will keep on going with our manual airlocks. Manual airlocks, you're asking? Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna make our infinite storage from. So let's take a look. We need one right here, we need one right there. Then right here, we're gonna have our pump. Just gonna build it this wide. I'm just gonna build it first. Gonna have a liquid pump here and a liquid pump there. 2 liquid pumps, that's right. And then we're gonna go back to our manual airlock, build another one right here. Gonna come over, gonna build up and build one more right here. And that is what the entire infinite storage is going to look like. Around here, once this is built, we need some insulated tiles to, well, keep the heat in. That is also relatively important, I would argue. But first of all, we need to make sure that our tubes actually get over there. So let's build that. Good. Meanwhile, down here, we have dug this here out, so that should be okay. Let's take a look of how we built this one up here. I want to just duplicate it 1 to 1, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. That should be perfect. Let's see if that actually fits down here. We're just gonna lay it out. Gonna have 1 here, 1 there. That's gonna be fine. Then right here, we're gonna build up all the way to here maybe. And then right here, we need 1 more. And then we're gonna build up all the way to right here. And then we're gonna come over. That should be enough. Actually, there's gonna be 1 more. Let's build it like this. So we have a little bit of space in there. Then we're gonna need a mechanized airlock. We're gonna need a ladder. And that should be it. Great. And then we're just gonna start digging out. And we, of course, also need to get up there in the first place. So we're going to build us a ladder right here all the way to the top. And the fire pole, just to speed this whole thing up a tiny little bit. Here on the top, we're going to dig out too high. Probably all the way to here. That should be sufficient. What is in there? Chlorine? Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. But we're going to leave it in there. How about we just dig this far? Should be plenty. And then we're going to dig right here as well. And along the floor. Just so we can reach everything that we want to reach as fast as possible. Great. Meanwhile up here, this is already built. Wow, that was happening in no time. Apparently our dupes are bored to hell here, huh? Then we need some wires. Let's see, where are we going to get some power from? That, of course, is also a pretty interesting question. We could just do something like this here. Let's see, insulated tiles, 1, 2, 3. We need insulated tiles around here anyway. So we might as well start on that. I'm gonna build all around, all the way up to here. Well, on this side here, we're gonna wait a little bit longer. Our dupes don't get stuck in there. We're gonna lock all of those doors. Every single one of them. Down here, I just built some ladders around it so the dupes can reach everything. Another thing that we will need is a liquid vent. We're just gonna build it out of iron, that's fine. And we're gonna plop it right there. And then we need an insulated pipe, of course. Obsidian? Obsidian? I'm not sure if we need obsidian, but we're gonna do it anyway. It's gonna be fine. Let's see how we're gonna build it. We're gonna come over to straight here, gonna come down the bottom so it looks a little bit nicer. And then right here, we're just gonna follow up here and then right here somewhere. Yep, right there as a matter of fact. We're gonna come over, build it all the way to here, and then all the way to somewhat like this. Here we're gonna build a bridge over. And then what I want to do is, let's see, a liquid shutoff. We're gonna build a liquid shutoff, let's say right here should be fine. Then we're gonna need a liquid bridge, one right here, one right there, and one right there. Then we also need an automation wire. And we're just gonna put the wire over to here. And the signal switch, so I can actually turn the input on, because this is a manual process. If we need the labor, we can just turn it off, or if we run out of oil, want to keep some crude oil, whatever it may be, we can turn it off when we want. That's the general idea. Then we're going to build it like this and like that, and that should complete that circuit. Just to make sure, once we have built a piece here somewhere, I'm going to cut it off so we are not immediately delivering something in. And I'm just going to set the priority to 9 so that it actually gets done. I always like to build at 9 because whatever I'm building right now is usually the most important thing. Usually. And right here, we are having our double connection. So I can snip it off right there. Just to be 100% safe, even though I'm already turning this here off as well. And since this one here is automated, it needs power. So we're also going to build it like this. Not a big deal, it's only 10 watts. That is certainly not going to kill us. In here we're looking pretty decent. We just need the power that we were talking about, but we also need insulated pipes. And we're just going to build it like this here. Pretty easy and straightforward. And down here we can then come out and do with it whatever we want. That's going to be good. But the power, once again, let's get a large power transformer. We're just going to plop it up here. It's going to be fine. All we're going to do is we're going to build a heavy wire that's coming straight over. And to reach that, let's build a couple more ladders here. It's fine. And as soon as everything is built that we need on the inside, we're going to lock that last door as well. Right in here, just going to come over and hook it up. And now it is built exactly the way we want it. Here's our power. Just have our own transformer here. That's fine. It doesn't matter. We're going to have our pumps hooked up to it. And our piping system. Here we come in and here we come out. And then we're going to lock this door here. Oh, of course we are. And then we're going to build more insulated tiles around here as well. It's getting locked right now. And then right here, we're going to build the insulated tiles all the way to right there. That is exactly what that should look like. Make sure the tubes actually get up there. Should be possible, but better safe than sorry. Can't have enough ladders. So let's get that built. And now that I've built it, I just realized I've forgotten one thing. So we're going to open this here back up. Because very importantly, I always want to be able to turn it on and off with some means. So we're going to come over to here, and then we're going to build once again just a signal switch. That's all it takes. And we could have built another one right here and turned off the liquid vent. Would have worked just as easily. But I want to turn it off right here so all the petroleum doesn't just sit in the pipes. Perfect. Okay, now we have the automation built as well. That always forgets something, huh? Crazy. But now it's good. Now we just gotta lock this door and then build 2 tiles right here and we are ready to roll. Okay, now the last thing to do is up here, we're going to open up this one here. It should stay permanently open. And then where we are at, let's see, plumbing. We need another insulated pipe so we can hook this one here back up. And then we're going to turn this thing here on. So now the petroleum is actually flowing. So let's see what that does. When we take a look in our overview, we have currently oxygen in there and even some carbon dioxide. But now it is here in the bottom, all petroleum. That is great. Now we just need to wait a little bit until actually those first 2 tiles here are filled up. So let's do that. And here we are. All tiles are now full with liquid. We can see it everywhere. Here is petroleum, 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 except right here. Here we have carbon dioxide, 326 grams of it, and that's fine. All we have left to do is lock this door right here. We need to make sure that gets locked before we put any more in. Just like that. And 2 insulated tiles on the top, and we could turn that thing back on, just like that. And we're just gonna fill it up, and let's see if this here works. And meanwhile, here on the bottom, we can see our natural gas geyser. That's good. We're gonna keep on digging right here, and we're gonna keep on digging right here as well. We should then be able to reach everything, I believe. I'm gonna give this here in the back and number 9 priority, so the dupes are actually doing that first. At the same time, we may already start to lay our piping. We already have a pipe. This one right here, as a matter of fact, that goes all the way to the top. So what we are going to do is we're just going to come over here and we're just going to build it straight along here and then all the way up to there. That's great. That's exactly what we need. And then here at the end, we will need a gas bridge. And then right here, a high pressure gas vent, so we can actually vent out this area here first. Good. We are going to build a pump in here. This pump, of course, needs power. So let's see if we can find some power somewhere. 1680, 3000. Okay. Whew. What is on this wire here that it needs 3000? Okay, all of these here, all of these here. That's what's on that wire. Yeah, they're basically never going to be running at the same time. And if they are, then it's going to be very brief. So that should be fine. But this gas pump on the left will run for a long time. Most of the time, as a matter of fact. So what we're also going to do is we're going to build a bridge right there for our wires. And then along the same route, we are going to build our conductive wire, well, a little bit lower. We don't want to power this door here. That's pointless. So let's not do that. All right, so let's take a look here. We have by now 1700 kilograms in there, something like that, 1.7 tons, which is much, much more than one tile can hold of petroleum. I think it's 740 or 780 kilograms that one tile can hold. So we are way, way above that. We are way above double that, as a matter of fact. So that is very good. So how does this whole system here work? And why does it work? So we have our manual airlocks here, and you are probably wondering, BierTier, why in the world would you not just build it out of insulated tiles in the first place? Well, the answer to that is that the manual airlocks do not break under extremely high pressure. Exactly the same as up here, our airflow tiles. They do never break. So that is what those two things have in common. So why do we use crude oil here? Well, it's just a different way of building the exact same system. Here we have crude oil and it's blocking our liquid vent. We're pumping the water out and the water flows upwards, and therefore it cannot calculate the appropriate amount that is supposed to be there. We are now up to what, 20 something tons in here? Yeah, we are having 20 tons per tile, 25 tons per tile of water in this storage, and the crude oil is making that possible. We're doing the exact same thing down here, just with gas. There's literally no difference if it is gas or a liquid. As long as it does not block the vent from something to come out, it does not matter. It works either way. And the insulated tiles, we only have it to keep the heat in. That is the whole idea. And it seems to be working pretty decent, if I may say so myself. And we have now pumped empty both of those liquid reservoirs. So I may as well turn it off because I don't want to store that much in there. It's basically just an emergency reserve. And I just wanted to show you a different way of building the exact same thing that we built before. There are several ways that lead to the same result. And that is great. That is another reason why I love this game to death. Our geyser down here is coming along. We're still missing some pipes and whatnot, so we may as well put in our pump. Let's take a look. Gas pump, we are going to build it out of steel just as a precaution. We can now build so much steel that we don't even know what to do with it, so it's all good. And we're going to come here with an Atmos sensor. Going to plop it right there, an automation wire. And we're going to come in here with power. This wire right here. Perfect. We're going to come up along the ladder, plop it in there. And then, of course, we also need to hook up our insulated pipe. We're also going to come up here and plop it into there. Perfect. While we are building the enclosure for our natural gas geyser down there, I cannot help but to notice that we are running a little bit low of water in here in our main tank. So what are we going to do about that? Up here we have a bunch more snow and ice and whatnot, so I think what we're going to do is we're just going to take this stuff here, we're going to dig it up, and then we're going to give it into our tank here, and it will melt eventually. Should be fine. I don't see a reason why that should be a problem. So let's dig all this stuff here up and bring it over there. That is of course not a long-term solution, but in the short term, it'll get the job done. And over here I found another massive source of ice, so we might as well dig that stuff up as well. Why wouldn't we? Come up too high, and let's just come up all the way over. It's fine. We can also dig up into this biome right here. Well, not biome, in this little pocket of ice and snow. That is going to sustain us for a good amount of time. We're just going to dig all this stuff out over here. I just came back down to our natural gas geyser, and we just finished building it, and guess what? It just went dormant. Ha! What a beautiful timing. Alright, so let's dig this here out, let's analyze it, and then let's close this sucker here off. And down here is now Chemster, hard at work once again. What a guy, and he will analyze this thing here in no time. Wonderful. And now it is properly researched. We're gonna lock this door here for good, forever. And at this point, the one thing that I still want to do is, because yes, I have a vent here and nothing should get through, but I don't want to put anything into our infinite storage out of the natural gas. So let's turn this here on and let's create a vacuum. And now we have a vacuum. If we look, everything's nice and gray, so we are ready to roll. Let's get rid of this gas pressure vent here. Let's set this one up here properly. We are going to say above 500 grams. That should be fine. And the next time this thing here, 41.5 cycles. Yeah, that is a good while, but that's fine. Last but not least, we're going to hook this one here back up. And now we are ready to roll. Whenever that thing comes out of dormancy, we are going to pump it straight up into our infinite storage. Good. Something else that I want to build back here is composting. We have now this nice empty area, so we might as well. I haven't built any composting whatsoever. Kind of forgot about that, not going to lie. So why is here polluted water? Something must have molten, probably this ice right here. So yeah, let's dig this up as well, just so we get rid of it and it doesn't pour all the way down here. Back to what we actually wanted to do. We need to build this area here for a compost. Let's just build it maybe this long. This box here is going to be our composting area. All we need to do is find our compost, and we're going to build 1, 2, and then another 1, 2. That should be fine. And what we also need, of course, is a wash basin. That is very important. Where we add in medicine, wash basin. Sorry, not wash basin. We're way past wash basins. We're going to build 2 of those. And then we're going to plop a 1 singular storage bin, one here in the middle. That should get the job done. We just need to find a water source. But guess what? We have a water source right here. All we're going to do is we're going to come along here. And we're going to build it into there and into there. And then right here, we're going to come out on the top. Plop these here together. And then we just got to build all the way back where we came from. And all we can do is plop it into there. That should be perfect. Shouldn't cause any harm to anybody. Great. Yeah, so everything is built the way I want it to be built. Pretty easy and straightforward. Here we have all this compost right here, and it's using compostables 0.1 units a second, whatever exactly that is. And this one here, that one storage, we are going to set to where we are at cultivatable soil, and we're going to set it to dirt. So all the dirt that is produced right here, like this dirt right there, we can just put it straight into here. That should speed up the process a hell of a lot more. And all of our polluted stuff is all right here. That's great. We have our rotten omelet right here. Apparently we have some omelet that has rotten, some polluted dirt. All this kind of stuff can all come into here. Rot pile and polluted dirt, all stored in this area. The dupes coming by, grabbing it and putting it right into here. Should have probably done it a little bit earlier, but better late than never. Down here on the bottom, we have a neural vacillator, so we might as well dig down to here and get in there and actually use it. How about that? That should be good. Okay, so we have access to this area, so who are we gonna send through there? That is the bigger question. I think I know who. I think we're going to go with Leafy. I do have some bigger plans with Leafy later on, so let's get Leafy in there. Let's see what happens. And Leafy, regenerative. This robust duplicant is constantly regenerating health. Health plus 20 a cycle. Perfect. What I also just noticed is all of our storage bins here are full with coal. We have so much coal that we don't even know what to do with it because we are producing so much. Look at all this coal laying around. There's another ton. So these storage bins over here, we might as well set those here to where we consumable ore, coal, just so we can actually store coal in here as well. Because currently we have no place to store coal, that's why it's just laying around right there. Perfect. But something else that we need is plastic. We have not produced any plastic yet outside of the stuff that we produced on the very bottom at the very beginning, before we even built the industrial brick. So guess what we have here? That's right, that is an empty space. So how are we going to build this? So we're going to come with a tile up to here. One tile just to keep the water in. What water, you asking? Hold on, you will see. Then we go over into here and we're going to build polymer presses. I think 4 should be more than sufficient. And we're just going to build them like this. Why? Because it looks good. That's why. There's really no reason for it. And then let's see, we need some space. How about right here? We're going to build 3 tiles right there. That should be sufficient. And we're going to deconstruct the tiles that are right above it. This one, and this one. But only the tiles, not the water lines that are below. Something like this. The only thing is it doesn't look very good. There we go. That's better. And now that the polymer presses are built, we need to do a couple things with them. You see all these signs here? Yeah, we need a bunch of stuff. So let's start with the power. That's why we built those here, so we have them available when we need them. We're just going to come along inside the floor and plop it in there just like that. We have now power. Something else that we also, of course, need is automation. I want to be, as usual, able to turn them on or off at my leisure. So we're going to come along here to the floor, something like this. And that's what that should look like. Just so I can turn them on and off whenever I feel like it. Something else that I want to do is metal tiles. These here I want to replace with metal tiles. We can use iron or cobalt, doesn't really matter. Let's use some cobalt. We haven't used any of our cobalt. We have 14 tons of this stuff laying around. So this entire rung here we're going to make out of metal tiles just so we can dissipate the heat a little bit better. And what we're also going to do in the same stroke is we're going to build a radiant liquid pipe. We're going to also build it out of cobalt because, yeah, sure, why wouldn't we? And we're going to upgrade this piping all the way to over here with liquid radiant pipes. This is our cooling method right there. Pretty simple and straightforward. While all this is getting built, our polymer presses also need an input. As we can see, they need an input. And that input is going to be, obviously, petroleum. We need to get some petroleum in there. So let's get that done. We're just going to come along here. And we're going to come into there. And into there. And here we're going to come the other direction. And into, not like this, into here. Pretty easy and straightforward. We're going to build it on this side here because this here is only for our liquid, for our infinite storage. Everything else can always be supplied. It's that simple and that straightforward. And then the last thing that we need in ventilation is an insulated gas pipe. We're just going to come out of here and come along all the way to right there. And then we're going to build a gas bridge just like this and hook up the rest. Because what is coming out of here is carbon dioxide. Great. So why did we build this hole here? Well, pretty simple and straightforward once again. We need a liquid pump right there. And we need an automation, a hydro sensor that we're also going to plop right there. And of course our automation wire. Then we're going to continue over with our power to hook that up as well. And then we need, of course, all the insulated pipe. And the insulated pipe, we just need to see how can we get the water out. And this is going to be water, not polluted water. That is important to note. So all we have to do is we need to come along here maybe, come up to there and up to here. And then we're just going to plop it right into there. And we need, of course, the liquid bridges. One here, one there, and one right here. And that is going to be the entire system. Pretty simple, just as we like it. Okay, the entire system is now built. All we need to do is the hydro sensor here. We're going to send it to 200 and we send it to above 200 kilograms. Just like that. So this pump here is going to pump the water out as soon as this one here reaches 200 kilograms. And let's turn it on. Let's see what happens. And we're immediately going to start to pump out some wonderful, wonderful plastic. Let's give it a tiny little bit. Let's turn up the speed here to 10 times. And we should see some water accumulate here very shortly. We can see the steam. And now the steam becomes water. Currently, they're already overheating. Reason for that is that the water was not there yet, but that is fine. If that is our biggest problem, we are doing just fine. Let's repair that second one here so that red bar goes away. And now the repair errand is finished and we can see that they here are staying at a pretty low temperature, below 50 degrees. They're built out of gold, so they could go a hell of a lot higher. But we are making now plastic and we can make as much plastic as we want. This here will run forever. If you take a look at our pipes here, the water is coming in at 10.6 or 10.8 degrees. And on the other side, it's coming out with 16.3. It's soaking up all that heat that's in here. How wonderful is that? And the only other thing that I'm noticing is that these down here are running pretty hot. So we should probably pause it real quick and also change the plumbing down here. We could do something like this here. With a pipe, we're going to come all the way over, all the way back, and then all the way back over to here and plop it into there. And we're going to build this, and we're going to get rid of the rest of the pipe, and that should cool these things here down like it's nothing at all. And here we have our new and improved cooling loop. Well, it's not yet improved. It will be improved now. Now we are getting all the water coming through here, and not just part of it. And of course, just for completeness sake, we're going to get rid of the rest of this pipe here, since we won't need it anymore. Take a look at the temperature overlay, and these here are now losing temperature drastically, especially once this pipe is entirely full. Yeah, that should get the temperature out of them and put it into our water. Let's take another look. We're coming in at 18, we're currently coming back out at 16. We're cooling actually our water down because they're not running that much. And then we're going to put our water back up into our tank. And what is our sensor set to? 15 degrees, we're at 14.7. So also our thermal aqua tuner here should turn on relatively soon and heat up this water here and make our steam turbine go. Speaking of steam turbine, we may as well finish this entire area here. So let's grab the steam turbine, let's copy it, and let's plop down maybe one more, maybe two more, just like that. That was the intention. All we need to, of course, do is now take care of the plumbing. So those are actually working once they are ready to work. We're going to come over to here and come over to there. And then right here, we're going to come in just like this. And then our bridges. So it's nice and symmetrical. I just like symmetrical things. I can't help it. Wonderful. Now that we have those, this is actually completely ready to go whenever we are getting hot enough that our thermal aqua tuner actually has to work, which it is doing right now. Great. And it's dumping a bunch of heat into here. All right, they're now all ready to go. There's only one thing that we need to do. We, of course, need to replace also these pipes here that are going behind our steam turbines with radiant ones so we can actually soak that heat here up too. Well, currently all it's going to do is actually going to cool down our water and heat up the surrounding because the steam turbines are not doing anything. But later on, that will actually be crucial. If you want to see how this actually works, we may as well make some steel. How about that? Let's make 20 in here. We're going to make 20 in there. And we're going to make 20 in here as well. And our dupe should come by and make some steel in each and every one of those. And now I have forced the system to turn on. The only downside with building it like this here is that we have all this dirt here on the bottom. Once it heats up, that is from the polluted water. It is visually not that nice, and there's no way to get it out of there unless to switch into sandbox mode, which of course I'm not going to do in any way, shape or form. It definitely works pretty well. 3 of our steam turbines out of 30 are now working. Each one is producing like 310 or something like that watts, which is exactly what that should look like. Our thermal aqua tuner over here is dumping also a bunch of heat into here. And now the system here is working the intended way. Let's take a look. Content of our water 17.5 and coming out the other side at 19 degrees because we are soaking up the heat, not F6, F3 from our steam turbines. Just like that, we have a system that is working wonderfully. That is what that was intended to be 2 or 3 episodes ago. But due to us being in a cold biome in the first place, it just had to be this way. And that is what the entire overlay now looks like from a heat perspective. We're a little bit hot on this side over here. Well, hot. Can't really say that. We are below 30 degrees. That is because our liquid radiant pipe is coming along here and not over there. We could change that, but I think it's fine. And we're still with our polymer presses at below 40 degrees or just at around 40 degrees. Our water here is soaking up all that heat and giving it, thanks to the metal tiles, into our water. And now if we look at our overlay, oh my goodness, time has passed a tiny little bit. Our oxygen is not all the way here on the bottom. So we can definitely turn off those pumps right here. We're going to set it to above, let's say 500. You reach 500 grams, you can do something for right now. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. We could move our pumps all the way to the bottom here so we get the last little bit of carbon dioxide out. But I think we are fine for right now. The very last thing for today I want to do is I want to unearth those teleporters so we can use them in the next episode. So all we're going to do is right here, we're going to exchange where we're coming from because I do not want to enter those with our Atmos suits. So all we're going to do is we're going to come over to here. We're going to take that out. We're going to build this stuff here. And then we're going to build, or better to say, dig over to here. Something like this. That should be perfectly fine. At least I wouldn't see a reason why not. We're going to build a ladder that comes up to here and dig this stuff here out as well, just so we can get into there. What is in here? Crude oil, 12 kilograms. That's fine. Okay, dupes, let's get this done. And our dupes have now completed this area here, so we may as well dig out those 2 tiles so we can get rid of this oil right here. Well, actually, we can already get rid of the oil, but it's fine. And now we have the teleporter receiver and the teleporter transmitter. That is what we're going to use next time. We're going to send one of our dupes through the teleporter, and we will see what is going on the other side of that thing. So that is certainly going to be interesting. Here we have a supply teleporter. Might as well activate it while we're at it. Not that it's going to do us any good right now, but better have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And just as I wanted to end the episode, I just noticed that we are apparently a little bit too hot in this area here, and our steam is escaping. That is, of course, something that we don't want. So what can we do about that? Well, pretty easy and straightforward. We are just going to move this switch here. This switch right here, we're going to set it to, well, so first we're going to mop it up and we're going to turn our system off. Come here, switch. There you go. And then what else we are going to do is we're going to build a couple insulated tiles. One right here and one right there. We're going to build a mechanical airlock on the bottom. Then we're going to grab that switch. And where can we move it? There's space. Here's space. Going to come with our automation wire just straight over and into there and get rid of this piece right here, as well as the actual switch. Where you at? There you are again. And then we're going to close this area here off with insulated tiles. I want to turn you off, I said. And to speed up this process here, we are also going to hook this door here up to power. It's fine. We have now so much power, we literally don't know what to do with it. It's okay. And then insulated tiles right here. There should never be a reason to ever come back into this area again, so it's not a big deal. And now that we're upgrading all of this stuff here, the last thing that I want to do is we're going to change the layout of our liquid radiant pipe, so just a tiny little bit. We are going to come up to here. We're going to come over. Here we will need a bridge. Here we'll need a bridge and another bridge. Going to come all the way down to here. And we're going to come back where we came from, back into here and into there. And that's what we're going to do, just so we cool down this whole area here a little bit better. Should work without a hiccup. Bridge here, bridge there, bridge here, bridge there. And that should already be sufficient to get this here properly cooled down. It's not going to be a lot of radiant pipe, but it's going to make all the difference. I have now let this here run for a tiny little bit. Let's take a look. Our temperature looks now a hell of a lot better. Also, our water doesn't escape anymore. It's just going exactly where it's supposed to go. We have now 25 kilograms in there. That'll take a while. It's literally nothing at all that we are getting out of here. But we are not here for the steam either. It only creates 8.33 grams a second of steam. But let's take a peek. We have all of our radiant pipes right here. They're coming through here, and just those tiny little pieces here are making all the difference. That's all it took. Wonderful. Our cooling loop here is going strong. We are making petroleum without end, pumping it all into our polymer presses down here. And in our liquid storage, we still have, what, 2,000 tons, 2,000 kilograms apiece. Our heat is nice and contained. Everything looks exactly the way it's supposed to look like. Not a big deal. So let's recap real quick what we have done today and what we are going to do next time. Down here, we have found another natural gas geyser that is still dormant for another 22.8 cycles. That's fine, but at least we have a second one ready to roll whenever the first one runs out. Our volcano here is still doing perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Our heat is still nicely contained, just as expected. Our infinite storage over here, temperature still wonderfully contained with about 2,000 kilograms per tile, which is way more than there should be. It's not a hell of a lot. For infinite storage, it's actually pretty low, but we have it if we need it. We turned on our entire cooling loop right here. We have now 3 steam turbines that are just waiting for 125 C worth of steam to actually turn on. Up here on the top, we are apparently still doing perfectly fine with only 1 steam turbine. Yeah, that is due to the liquid vent being right here. Should have built it in this corner, and they could have built a second one, but it's not like we need it. It's not like we are here for the power this thing produces. We are here for the hydrogen that we are getting. And last but not least, let's take a look at our storages. How much do we have in each? We have now 800 kilograms a tile of hydrogen. That is quite a lot. Up here on the top, we are still out Yeah, this one here is not enough to keep us alive. We need the other one to come online to actually help us with this, which will be okay. And then over here we have, oh my goodness, 16,000 kilograms worth of oxygen per tile. And over here the carbon dioxide is also at 679 kilograms per tile. Yeah, we are getting bunches and bunches of that stuff in. Perfect. That is exactly what that should look like. And our water? Our water is at 30 tons a tile. Great. And next time around, we are going to take a look. What is behind this teleporter here? What can be unearthed and how are we going to start over there? So it's going to stay interesting, that is for sure. We are not going to run out of stuff to do in this game anytime soon, I can promise you that. But that is the episode for today. So if you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video and comment down below. What did you see that I could do better in any way, shape or form? You know it, I'm always happy about your input. But with that I say thank you and peace.